Hey everyone, we are back with another episode. I'm excited to be here. We're Poe on the call, and I am Cris Rivers.
I'm Mændy Mac.
Yes, we are here with the incredible pole dancer and pole competitor, GeGe.
Hi, y'all.
Yay! GeGe, thank you so much for being here with us tonight and being willing to share the story of your amazing pole journey. I know I'm really excited to hear because you are a world traveler.
Yeah, same
But
here.
I guess we should start at the beginning before we get to any of that. What brought you to pole dancing?
So I started pole dancing during COVID, such a lovely time. And I think when I started, it was more to get in tune with my body, find the sex appeal, to be sexy, and I don't know, just swing on a pole. Like I've always wanted to pole. I've always like admired it. So yeah, that's what kind of brought me to it.
And where did you start pole dancing?
I started pole dancing at this beautiful studio called Fly Club. Fly Club is in Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago. And I started there and they have a series called Divine Intervention. And basically, what that series does is you're committed for an 8-week program. And in that 8 weeks, you're building on something you did last week and you're with the same amount of people. So it's kind of like a cohort in a sense, like a half of semester. And then I guess level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and I was with the same people. So it's like when you accomplish something, the people that were there knew where you started from. So seeing each other's growth was the beauty of part of that.
Yes, I love those cohort, like how
Yeah.
class set up like that. It's so fun. When did you make the transition from student to competitor?
I actually competed my first year of doing pole. I did level 1. It was only 3 of us, but it was a good chance to just compete. I competed to Shine Down Song 45 at PSO Central, and I got second place. And that was like the first time I've ever competed. It was such a interesting experience. Yeah, it was a lot.
OMG, do you have a video of that? I love that song, and I've always thought
So
of.
I do have a video and I posted it on my Instagram because it was a PSO like what the fuck moment. Because it was one like I did the bow, I did my whole routine flawlessly, but I threw my cape right during the performance. And as I toddled to try to get my cape, I fall on the stage. So look, it was applause me like, hey, oh. And then I got back up, yay, and then to toddle again and fall going down the steps. So it was a very interesting moment in my pole dance life. But yeah, I do have the video of that song. Yeah, I do.
That is too funny. So, like, your first competition and like anything that could go wrong did go.
Yeah, I mean, I wore like a what is it called? SIX, Creatures of XIX. I think they're called costumes. So it was very grippy to the pole. So that helped me stick. I had some gray hair, but like nothing went wrong with my routine. It was just after the bow, I fell. And that was the moment of like, okay, we're just gonna get off the stage now. We're just gonna get off this. So it was just one of those things. It's like you've given this piece to the audience. You perform. You put everything out there. You're done, but you have to. I did not exit gracefully. So yeah.
Did you get in the video? Is there footage of all of the after the bow?
Yes, there is footage after the bow. There is footage after the bow, and it didn't catch my second fall. I only caught the first fall in the video. So I'm glad the video didn't catch my second fall, but it's okay. But yeah,
Yes, but you still got up and then you continued competing. You did not let
I
that stop.
did. I did. I did. I've done 3 competitions in life. I've done 3.
Yes. So, do you have a background in dance and
No. No, I do not have a dance background whatsoever. Growing up, I'm a nerd. I was on the debate team, the math team, the academic decathlon. I was playing water polo, all the things not transition to pole. Like none of those things transfers to pole. So I think having a dance background helps majorly when you do pole, but I am a theater major, so the performing aspect of me knows how to perform. However, tricks are harder to come by sometimes because it takes strength, it takes flexibility, it takes these multiple amount of things put together. But for me, as long as I can capture an audience, I know I got them.
Yeah, I was gonna say you must have something because like when I see you dance, you're just like a force.
I really appreciate that because in my head, it's just like I know some tricks I'm not there yet to do, but for me, it's like it's been so funny. I've been thinking about creating a new Instagram called the Sad Girl Polar because all I dance to is very sad, evoking music that makes you want to cry and tear up. Like I dance out my feelings. It's a way, it's an outlet for me, a healthy outlet, I would say, to get out all my feelings because like I deal with enough toxicity at work. So I just kind of want to dance it out. And that's what I do.
Oh my God, though I love your playlists.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I love that Sad Girl Polar idea. Let us know if it happens.
It will. It probably will because I'm at the point where I think I may need 2 separate pages to post my pole life and my regular life.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, do you ever have any aspirations to be a teacher?
So, yes, I do. However, I want to get better at other things before I do become a teacher. Speaking to teachers, I realize it's really hard to teach and also train for yourself because most of your time is teaching. So I don't see how you guys do both, to be honest. Like, how are you teaching a class and also keeping your skill level to what it is? Because if you're a level 4 polo, but you're teaching level 1, how are you keeping those level tricks? How are you keeping them there? So I do. It's just finding the balance, I think, for me. And once I figure that out, I will probably figure out the way of becoming certified and what that means.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I love that. In the future, but in the meanwhile, do you have any plans to compete again soon?
Ah, I don't know yet. I would like to compete this year. I would like to compete at Great Lakes. They usually have a competition in November timeframe. I don't know where life will move me within the next 6 months. So depending on that, depending on where I live and where I lay my head will depend on and then accessibility to a studio as well. So whenever I do move, I know it'll be this year. Don't know when is when I will probably decide, yes, we're going to do this. It's just with Great Lakes, that it's right around Thanksgiving. It's always hard to train for a competition that happens right around the holidays because the holiday cheer makes you want to eat and lose all habits that are healthy for you. So yeah.
Well, that would be awesome if you do get to compete, but I am sad you're leaving us.
I know, I am too. I told Cris the other day during yoga, like, I will be back. I travel very frequently. So if I'm ever back here again, if you see me pop into a class, don't be alarmed. If you see my name on the roster, like, oh, okay, GeGe's back. So yeah, don't be alarmed.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And we got to Chicago.
Yes. Hopefully, we'll see. I will know by the end of this week of where I'm moving. So we'll see.
Cool beans. I love it. OMG. So when you travel, and I know you get to travel a lot, I'd be vicariously living on social media. Do you get to visit different pole studios?
I make that a goal is to visit a pole studio. I visited a pole studio in Australia. I visited one in Puerto Rico. I tried my best to do Bali, but Bali didn't pan out well. I've done one in Baltimore. I've done it in Atlanta. I've done it a couple of places. I've done it in Providence, Rhode Island. So I do make it a goal because I do think you learn different from how people are teaching you. It's like when you're in school, everybody has their favorite teacher, right? Or certain people are teaching a concept or a move or trick better for you to understand than other people. And for me, I'm very, I watch, and that's typically how I learn. But when it comes to muscle engagement, sometimes it doesn't click to me depending on who's teaching it. So it's just, it is what it is. It's no fault to the teacher. It's just like, apparently I don't understand the English you're telling me. But I think the biggest goal, the goal that I did cross off is I went to Puerto Rico and I danced there and they taught full blown Spanish. And Lord knows I'm not bilingual whatsoever. And I got the combo down just by watching. And that for me was a goal. Like I took a class in another language and still learned it. So it was definitely like a proud dancer moment.
Right, dance is the universal language.
Yeah.
It is, but even with pole, we both know that moves are called different in English. Like some people say butterfly, some people say this, some people say that, and it's the same move.
Yeah.
So just trying to think of that like in another language is probably even harder at that
Right.
point. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what you're telling me to do. So I do it. Let me see you do it, and then I will try. So yeah.
I love it. What's like the most beautiful studio you've seen?
Oh, that's a great question. That is a great. I would have to say when I took a private with Bentley, that was a good studio. I think he's at Vertical Joe's. I think that's the studio he's at. They had like I don't know, like 10 poles in the studio, and like all the walls are mirrors. So it's just like it gave me surround sound. Like at any angle I'm at, if I'm spinning on a pole, I can see myself. You know what I'm saying? So it was, and then they had different like I'm used to the regular size pole, but they had the different variations of sizes and circumference. And that was like a shock. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it's smaller some places, or it's, you know what I'm saying? So I think based off of the things they had to offer, that was the better studio.
Like, did you get to experience the different
I
circumference?
did, and the big one's hard. I don't see how people do it. Like I think it's easier for certain movements, but
Yes.
harder for others. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I don't understand how people do split grip on the bigger one. Like I don't see how they hold themselves
No.
personally. Or like even cup grip, because cup grip is a harder grip as well. So like trying a bigger pole with cup, it's just like you got to be pulling your shoulder out or something to hold that. I guess
Yeah.
I have to.
I learned on a 55. And then as soon as I realized there was 45, I was like so much better.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, it's hard enough for me to thread through a 45. You want me to thread through a 55? This is bigger. It's more space that I have to overcome. So yeah.
That's cool though. It's nice to have the different options in one studio.
It is because it's like you never know what you're gonna get. So it's to diversify yourself as a dancer, I would say that would be having the option to do things as well. Yeah.
Nice. Love it.
Since you've been to a couple in different areas of the world, do you find there's a difference in pole dancing, like in Australia versus Puerto Rico versus North?
Yeah, so in Australia, they use shaving cream as grip. I didn't know that. I know that was a thing. So I'm like, oh, okay. Use shaving cream as grip. And they say, yeah, put some shaving cream on, you'll be fine. I've never seen that. Nobody do that. I'm like, okay, this is a thing. So, and I find uh the way they teach it is very cohort in Australia. It was very hard to do like a drop-in type of method in Australia. Puerto Rico, you can do drop-in methods. I would say their studios are smaller. I've been to two, and they just seemed a little bit smaller than what I am used to. But I think it just depends on where you go. It just depends on like even when you go to the States, depending on the studio, you can get higher ceilings or you get the ceiling that's in your house and you just do core work and floor work and call it a day. So it just depends. It just depends. And I don't think it's an area. I just think it's the space that they have personally. Hmm.
Well, after experiencing so many different pole styles, what would you say is your favorite pole dancing style?
That's a great question. I always go for power, even though I'm very slow and methodic about it. But I always choose like power moves over sexy flow or heels. Like I always tell people, even though heels make me stick to the pole, I prefer dancing without heels. Just because it's easier for me to grip the floor. It's easier for me to move from one place to the other and use the entirety of the space. Whereas I just feel like wearing heels, I'm dangling these heels off my feet and they just don't look pretty in the sky. So, because it's like, it's so much harder to point with the heel. Like, because I'll point, but it doesn't look like I'm pointing because I think you have to do an extra little 2 cents. I don't know what you have to do to make it look like your toe is pointed in heels, but it's some real work. But yeah, I think I would say I go for a lot of power and dynamic movements. I tend to try to go for static rotation. I tend to try to go for like the oh my gosh drops, like, oh, where did that come from? Like very showstopper type of movement, but with a storyline in between.
I love that power pole. It's so fun.
It is, but it'll make you have to go to the gas station and get four ice bags and put them in your bathtub and sit in it with some cold water. And then after you do that, run your hot bath with some Epsom salt. And then you may be fine. You may be fine after that.
Too bad.
It's
Oh my gosh, did you say you were doing those cold baths before? Are you still doing those? Did
I do when I'm training. Like if I'm training for a competition, I will do it because at that point I'm in the studio 4 times a week. So at that point I need it. But if I'm just regularly just going to class and like not training for a competition, then I don't necessarily need to do it.
and what
yeah,
does cold bath do? Like I do a cold bath.
So I come from a very track background, lifting heavy, and we always did ice baths after we would go up in weight. I guess it just shocks the system and it releases the whatever energy are in your muscles out of you. I always feel good after an ice bath. If I've been, let's just say I've been in the studio for 3 hours and I've worked my ass off for that 3 hours straight, an ice bath, I don't know what it does, but it makes me feel better. Like I don't know, like scientifically what it does, but it does make my body feel less sore, even though I've stretched. It does release whatever that tension is for me there. Because I know some people prefer heat over ice. I do both, um, depending on what I'm doing. Like if I've like strained a muscle, I will heat. But if my muscles are like cramping and they're just like had too much work, I'll ice. It just depends.
How long do you sit in that ice?
About I sit 7 minutes, and it's a long time because it's truly a cold bath. Like it's 4 bags of ice, cold water, sit in it, play 2 songs, get out. Like that's literally what I would do. Yeah.
Can I cheat and just use cold water?
No, you have to you have to get it to a certain temperature to actually like really feel like just try it. Like just try it one day. I know it sounds crazy. Like I even have the foot socks. Like what you get is from Amazon. You cover your toes because your toes is what lets out a lot of heat. But if you cover them, you won't go into like hypothermia or anything of that nature. So yeah.
OMG.
Yeah, you gotta try it. Gotta try it. Never know until you try.
I definitely will. I like the cold shower. Like, I got in the habit of taking my normal shower and then 1, 2 minutes of just cold water running on me to like kind of wake myself up and get the blood circulating. But I've
So
never,
that's something I can't do because it's hot in my house, like with heat on or even with air conditioning on. Like I can't have half the body not being cold and half the either you're all cold or none of your cold. Like it's so hard for me to say. I don't see how people say cold showers. Like I can sit in ice because my entire body is submerged. So my body knows what's happening. But if cold water is sitting here and this other side is warm, it's just my body don't know what the fuck going on. So it's bad. So yeah.
I love it. Too funny. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
What are other ways that you kind of rest your body from training besides cold baths?
So I take breaks. I'm not always in the studio. I don't have any other ways, but I do a lot of other self-care things. Like I have a self-care Sunday. I put a face mask on, let it be on for 15 minutes, and then I take it off. So that's what I do like every week. I make that a thing for me. But other than that, I don't do anything else.
I love it. Yes, I need to get back to the face masks.
I bought them on Amazon. They gave me a pack of like 100 for about 25 bucks, and they're different flavors. You get honey, pomegranate, like grape. I'm like, I didn't even know face masks came in all these flavors. Like I can eat it or something, but apparently they come in different flavors.
100.
So you do the sheet ones? I love
Yeah, the
those.
sheet one. I do the sheet one. Now I'll do the mud mask if I feel as though my face is breaking out, like the Bath and Body Works charcoal mud one. I'll do that if I feel like a pimple won't go away. But other than that, I do the sheet one.
Great. I haven't done one in a while, but
Yeah, like the sheet ones are decent. You can get them from the Dollar Tree, just to start off, just to see what it does. And for me, it makes my face feel like I don't have like I think I have normal skin. Because when you go get a facial, they usually as is your skin usually oily or your skin is usually dry. And me, I've never had a problem with acne, thank you, Jesus. And I don't really have much problems when it comes to skin, but I just kind of do it just to do it.
yeah, because it feels good.
It does feel good. It makes me like when I take it off, I feel like, oh yes, that's such a relief.
Yes. Are there
Yeah.
any other competition training tips to
I
share?
would say eat more. That's something I slack in. And like as far as like, because I don't think people realize how much calories you're burning when you're prepping for a competition. And I think I've saw myself get exhausted because I wasn't eating enough protein. And don't be like I'm pretty good on carbs, but don't I would say never do a keto diet when you're trying to prepare for a competition personally, because carbs is what you burn first usually. So yeah, so I'll eat more, stretch more, and make sure you're breathing. And I know that sounds so stupid, but it's like certain things you have to really like really blow it out like that when you're doing yoga, and when you're inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4, that helps depending on what you're doing in the air aerially.
It does. Breath is key, y'all. Breath is key.
Yes.
Yes,
Those are really good tips. Thank you for sharing those, GeGe.
no
Especially
problem.
Especially as I am training for the competition this year.
Oh, Boston
Yeah, I'm
or
gonna try. Yeah.
oh, okay, level 5.
Yeah.
God, one day I'll get there.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you will.
One day, I just want to, my biggest pole goal, like as a dancer, is to be able to jump from one pole to another pole. Not sure how, but that is a goal of mine.
Like Dmitry Politov.
I don't think I've ever seen it. So if you've seen it and you can send me the link so I can like just replay it and like keep this as a dream of mine.
I'll have to look it up. When he started 10, 15 years ago, he used to do it all the time. Not so much now that he's older, but I'll see what I can find.
Okay, got to work on my hops, but I think I have the
Already,
height to compensate for not being able to jump high.
right, you can already reach one leg from one
Yeah,
leg.
I can. I can. So I just need a small hop to get me there
You could do
in
like
the air. I
a
just
mount.
spread out and try to catch it midair. We're gonna figure it's gonna be like a trapeze artist, like just flying across the floor. That is an impossible, may not be impossible, but probably impossible goal for me.
We'll think about it a little bit more in the studio next time.
We will. We will. I have to figure it out.
He used to do it a couple of ways. One of my favorites that I've always wanted to try is he's on one of the pole, like in a tight, like the pole is on his back, like in a wannabe Titanic, but his feet are on the pole and his hands are behind him, and
Yeah.
his that, and he jumps from the pole like that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I will always think of it as instead of having both feet on the pole, kind of like Spider-Man sideways and then jumping.
Ooh, that would be fun. Maybe you can create it.
That was the thought because I'm like, okay, because you're already Spider-Man leaning one way, and then because it gives you that like that push that way maybe because I can't see myself just standing and jumping that far forward. Versus
No.
if I jump sideways, I'm like reaching out to try to. I don't know. We'll figure this out. If I can get to that pose and put like 4 or 5 mats down, we can figure this out.
Love
Yeah,
that kid.
things. Pole goals.
Abs.
That's one realistic goal, and I think I can do this because I've done it before. Is to do a Titanic on stainless steel. I've done it on silicone, but I've not done it
Yeah.
on stainless steel. I've held a bat wing once. We want to try to make that a continuous one of GeGe's tricks, and in the bag of tricks that I bring out. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to always go from like an inside leg hang straight to a bat wing and then maybe go to a sit after that. Who knows? So I think those are goals. This year, though, I do want to be able to comfortably aerial chopper invert spin without using momentum. I wanted to be able to control that movement because I can do it. Is it controlled? Probably not. So yeah, I think that's what I want to work on this year is aerial chopper spin.
Love it.
You are gonna get it.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite pole trick at the moment?
My favorite pole combo is going from a Marley to a Jade to a Tammy. That is like my ultimate. It's gonna happen every single time you see me dance. But now I have a second one. The second one is a Remy layback going to this funny, I don't know what you call it. I have no clue. I'm bad with names, but a vortex. I think that's what it's called. It's like you put your arm in front of the pole and you grab your wrist like that, and your legs are just kind of. I think that's called a vortex. That is. I have to figure out a better way to get out of that. But once I figure out a way to get out of that, because you're already in this twisted type of grip, so like when you let your hands go, you're sliding down the pole because your knees are not locking the pole. So it's like, what's holding you here, other than faith in Jesus? But yeah.
I love those combos, and you're right. The Marley, you are always getting into Marley
I
Jade.
know.
I am. That's like my favorite because I'll go straight from the Marley and then I'll maybe do a little pike real quick and then I'll swing my leg around for the Jade and then to come down to, I call it a Tammy. Other people call it different things. I don't know what it's really called. Um, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we all have our go-tos.
Yeah, that is it's a go-to. And I want to be able to do an iguana on spin. I just can't find my shoulder when I come from a layback. I can't like I'll be there hands back, but my shoulder won't touch the pole, and I'm just spinning, spinning, not knowing, having any awareness. I see it, shoulder won't get there, don't know what's happening.
Right, that's not really a position I want to be in, just flailing with legs upside down.
I don't mind it. Like I love like a good laid back legs upside down type of deal because I know you kind of do your crescent, like you do a crescent. That's like
Then I
one of
come
your
back up.
to go tos, yeah. And then you come back up. I'm like, nope. I would have just laid down and figured out how to get to the floor.
Love it.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see when you get it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Hopefully,
And my
we'll see. We'll see.
Bad Girl Polar Instagram page.
Yes, I need to start it. I'm gonna start it, and I'm gonna start it. Yeah, that's gonna be a thing for me. It's gonna be my second Insta page.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that. Do you have a pole nemesis?
Yeah, inside leg hangs. I hate those, and I know you can go a lot of places from them. I know they're pretty, but they hurt so bad. They hurt so bad, and I hate thread throughs as well. Like when you come from like a Hello Boys and you try to thread through to a toothbrush. I hate it. why do you want me to do this? So those are I would say those are my nemesis right now. Yeah, I would say those things. And then split grip, like that push at the bottom is such a struggle. Granted, we do the exercises and it helps, but I'm 205 pounds. Like it's a lot. So it's like it's a lot of weight there. That's having. So yeah, I would say those are my nemesis.
Same.
Yeah. But you do like scorpion with no like yay.
On only one side. On my silly side the other day, and it was so painful.
They're painful, and it's like pain on the back of the calf and hips opening. Yeah, it's just, why would you do this to me? Like, you don't love me. That's what
I think that's
they're
why
telling me.
I left Chris's class because I was
No,
I left early.
I had to finish the entire pole lab if that makes you feel better. I did one little flow, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
I did it.
I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
I'm learning to embracing the pain for the emotional pain.
I mean, I was letting out my emotions, not to get batterly abused, to get more frustrated. But one day, like I have to really stretch more. And that has been a goal of mine, to just stretch and then see where that takes me. Because I don't stretch, and I expect my flexibility just to magically appear. So yeah, it is a goal of mine to stretch more.
Yes, that's a great goal. That's a good goal to work on.
Yeah.
Do you have a particular hand or body grip that you use?
I use monkey hands, I think it's called. And then for the back of the knees, I use tack. iTack, I think it's called. And then I use the red one, the monkey grip. But I hear good things about the green, so I might be switching colors. Who knows?
Beware if you're gonna compete, because they banned the red.
You can't. I heard you can't do the green anymore. I'm like, they banned firm grip. They just banning all types of stuff. Next thing you know, they could be banning the sticky pants and the sticky costumes.
Yes. Oh no, not the sticky. I think the reason why they did it is because it was hard to clean for the pole cleaners, and there would be residual. It would take them longer, and it wasn't.
Oh, I see what you're
So
saying. But so does iTack. If you put iTack on your hands, that sticks on a pole like crazy.
that might be next.
Oh, don't say that. I mean, I use it for places that are hard for me to hold. I put behind the knees. I'll put in my armpits. You know what I'm saying? Those type of places where I know more likely you probably will sweat here. So yeah, between the legs, those places I put iTack.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they won't ban the iTack.
Hopefully they don't at this point.
Oh my gosh.
It's been out longer than monkey hands and stuff, and they haven't yet. So hopefully it'll be okay. Like monkey hands hasn't been out.
I feel like the iTack is only an issue if you leave it on for a long, like if you forget to clean it and then you come back to it, then it's like, oh no. But
Oh, okay.
if you get it right away, it's okay.
It's
Okay.
cake.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. Well, what are some things that are coming soon for you?
Coming soon. I'm moving, not sure where. Coming soon, I'm traveling to Chicago on Tuesday, so I'll probably visit my home studio. And that's about it. I know I'm one of those people that never stays at home and always in a hotel or somebody's couch, but I'm really trying to enjoy my bed more often this year. So we'll see how that works out for me.
Yes.
Your poor bed.
My poor bed has no one to sleep in it. It has no company. It just has the sheets and the pillows, and that's it.
Too. It's interesting because everybody wants to travel, but they don't think about the missing the bed part.
Yeah, I mean, granted, beds are nice other places, but sometimes you just miss your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facts. Too funny. OMG, Chicago. Which Chicago? Which I feel is it Fly Club in Chicago? That's the
Yeah,
studio.
Fly Club is the studio I usually go to. I may check out another one just cause, but it's always good to visit your home teacher, the person that made you love it, breathe it, live it, all those great things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Well,
it. OMG, are you going to perform?
I'm gonna just take a class. I don't. They have showcases at different times, so I don't think I'll be there when they are actually doing a showcase. I've actually never performed there. It's so funny. Like that's my home studio. I've never performed there, but that was like in my baby pole stage days before like I became the dancer who I am now.
they don't
Um,
know.
they haven't seen the true my
GeGe.
true nature yet. They haven't seen me perform. So
Oh.
that's been an interesting piece. Yeah.
Well, you need to give them that gift.
I will if I'm there long enough. And I don't think I will be. And I think that's part of the issue. It's like she's always on the go. Yeah, so that's like the biggest issue.
Well, hopefully for the future.
Yeah, yeah. We'll plan for that.
Yes. Oh, and then I guess we should ask, what do you do in your free time? Do you have
I actually have free time. So I'm a homebody. Massachusetts, Springfield, I guess, has made me a homebody. I watch Netflix. I just finished Squid Games too. But I'm very artsy. I make vision boards. I make rose walls, like things of that nature. That's kind of what I do in my free time. I just redecorated my bathroom. It is currently orange with green accents. So I painted my bathroom orange. That's what I do in my free time. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I do. And then if I'm not watching Netflix, I'm probably sleep somewhere, enjoy my slumber with my pillows. Like, yeah.
I love it. Too funny.
right? That's the life.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
know there
say
was
sleep
a
is
game.
not for the weak. It's sleep is for the well rested. That's what sleep is for. And I am well rested. So I enjoy sleep.
There's a Squid Games too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's out. So I'm not sure if you watched Squid Games 1, but
I did,
Squid Games 2 is out. It's on Netflix.
because I just finished all my other Netflix things.
Yeah.
I ended up we canceled Netflix a couple months ago because it was too expensive. And of course, Squid Games 2 comes out now.
Yeah. I get it through to my T-Mobile plan because they
Nice.
discounted it with ads with the plan for like I think a certain time period. So yeah, that's how I do mine.
Oh.
Maybe I'll sign up with a new email just to get the free month for watch.
I was gonna mention you could do that.
No, I
You
knew a person
should.
who did that. He created emails every month,
You should.
so he could just get it free. I'm like, you would think they'll check the credit card information. I guess they don't go that far. They just check the email and call it a day. Hmm.
Yeah,
You heard it here
for the
first.
first.
I'm pulling the call.
I can't. OMG, too funny. I can't. Woo! Do we ask do you cross train as well? Have you tried
No,
other area goddesses or the gym?
I mean, I do gym, but I don't cross train. Like I don't do any other aerial events. Like I don't do Lyra. I don't I it's been a while since I've done like the ribbon thing where you put it on the pole. I forget what that's called. You tie it around you. I don't do hoop. I do nothing other than come to pole and then wake up.
I love it too, except for competition. Then you change it.
Well, so like I'm in the gym doing regular things. I don't lift as heavy as I used to when I did track. But it's just the military in me just having to go to the gym to stay fit, blase, blase, blah, all that great stuff. It's beautiful.
Uh,
Facts. the military messed me up with pole dancing.
They
Like, you got
do,
to do
they
this
do.
extra. Don't
It's the
teach us how
ruck
to do it right.
marches for me. It's the ruck marches. Like we'll do an 8 mile ruck, 75 pounds on your back with a weapon. I'm like killing my hips. And that's why my hips are tight. That's why my hips are tight. So yeah.
Oh,
I used to actually kind of like the rough marches. I hated the pull-ups.
Yeah.
but now you love the pull-ups.
The pull-ups on the pole, I guess.
Yes. No. Oh no,
Yeah.
I've grown to love pull-ups because those help me with pull-ups on the pole once I learned how to do it properly. Because in the military, it was
Yeah.
reps. Get as many
Yeah.
and doesn't teach you how to properly engage. But
Gauge your muscles. Mm-hmm.
yeah, once I
They're trying to
started,
move away from that, but it's taking time, like everything it does.
hurry up and wait.
Yep. Yeah, you know it. You breathe it, you live it, you love it.
But in the meantime, how many hypermobile shoulders have dislocated in the process?
I'm so glad I don't have that problem. Like I don't have hypermobility at all. So I'm glad I don't have to be aware of that. Because like when I see your arm just I'm like, oh, why is it popping out? Like, why is it doing that? This is not normal. But yeah.
Whoops, sorry.
It happens.
Um, I guess that's all the generic questions that we have. Do you want to give any advice to anyone who is interested in pole competitions?
I would say my advice is to be patient with yourself. Set realistic goals, expectations, and also like the biggest thing I think is necessary is do your same combo to another song. And I say that because after a while you get tired of hearing the same. You get tired of your song, but that really triggers to see if you know what you're doing versus as if you're just muscle memorying to whatever lyric. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that helped me when it came to competing. I would do my same thing to a different song, and it's like and evoke whatever story I'm trying to tell. Because I'm always a dramatic person, so I can only speak for that. But even if you were entertainment, can you tell a story to a different song with the same movement? And see what happens. You may find better options, better ways to say things, or better things to do.
Thanks.
Right, that's brilliant advice.
Yes. I kind of want to ask because I'm always curious. Who are people's inspirations? What are some of your pole dancer inspirations out there?
Oh, okay. I'm really bad at names, but I think it's Amelia. She dances in P Valley. I think her name is. She has like super long legs, very flexy.
I'm dying
Um,
that damn show.
huh?
I'm dying to watch that damn show.
You have to watch it. Marlo for sure. Those are some of my, and then also, what is his name? I think his real name is Andre, but I think his Instagram is vertical like vertical something. He's in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That man.
We interviewed him too.
I actually watched him in competition. He did it in Chicago, and like part of it was Let's Chill by Miguel, that song, and he broke like the fourth wall. He's like, oh, you trying to get a sneaky leak, and he'll put his tablet down, and he spoke to the audience, and then he did like it was a whole vibe. We're like, okay, that was cute.
He is, and
because I think he went pro and he got like a move named after him or something like that. Like those are realistic goals. Like to have a name, like, you know, basically you did what Simone Biles did, but for pole. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. He's super amazing. He's like all the way out, like I think it's like 10 hours from us, like on the other side of Pennsylvania.
Okay. I knew it was Pennsylvania. I didn't know where.
Like
I knew it wasn't like a big city. I knew it wasn't like Pittsburgh or like Philly. I knew it was like maybe middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania.
Right. So you have to live in the middle of nowhere to get so creative.
You do, because there's nothing else to do. So you
Yeah.
become a creator. Yeah. Either you throw rocks in the sand or you create.
Yes. Oh,
It is so true. I learned a lot from him when we interviewed him. He's always been inspiring. Like his power pole game is like
It's crazy.
it is.
It's crazy.
right. Maybe one day I'll get to take class from him, but
Yeah. That's the true goal.
maybe I'll be scared.
Don't be scared. Just do it.
Yes. One day we're gonna take classes from GeGe 5, 10 years when she's ready.
Yes.
That'd be so dope. That'd be dope. Yes, definitely dope.
Oh my gosh, you should teach like flow classes,
Okay.
your music, and I'll just be there all the time.
Power pole class.
Yes, that's on the books to be done.
Like, no, I won't take that. Just kidding, I will.
My body will last to at least 45 for power pole, but I'll be okay with 40.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my body.
Shit happens.
Right? It's okay. It's doing its best.
This is true.
Well, GeGe, do you have any advice for anyone who wants to start getting into pole?
I think my only advice is just don't give up too easily. Because there are things that I still struggle to get, but I won't give up on it. I may table it, I may set it to the side, but I'm not going to give up on certain things.
Yes, I love that. Don't give up. I want to start asking now, why do you still pole?
Why do you still? Because there's so much stuff you can still learn. Like it's so much stuff you can do. It's so many things you can do. It's an art form, in my personal opinion, and it's the way I've chosen to tell certain stories.
I absolutely love that. Now we're going to collect all these clips for our next segment of Why Do You Pole?
Love it. But not to cut you guys off, I do have to go. I do have to leave shortly.
No worries.
That is, we are like right there.
Okay.
Just tell our listeners and watchers to thank you so much for listening to or watching this episode of Pole in the Call podcast with the amazing GeGe. My name is Mændy Mac.
And I'm Cris Rivers.
I really have to do this. I have to figure this out. And it's not gonna fit. With the socks on.
Thank you so much, GeGe. This was awesome.
Thank you.